As a proud Corgi owner and PetSmart customer, I'm particularly excited for this one. We're going to hear from Katie Buck, Senior Manager of Personalized Marketing at PetSmart, and she's going to share how her marketing program brings their customers and pets coming back for more using real-time personalization. So let's give it up.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around for the afternoon. Really excited to be here today. I want everybody to take a second and think about a time you opened up an email, a personal email, not a work email. I don't want to hear about those today. And I want to think about a time where you thought, oh my gosh, that is so relevant, so personal. Look at those graphics, look at that copy. Oh, I wish I could do that. I've been there, my team has been there. All too often we'll come to team meetings with inspiration from other retailers, many of you in this room. And we used to say to ourselves, how can we do that? How can we make that possible? We don't have those tools. We don't have that money. We don't have that team structure. What can we do to get ourselves a little bit closer? So I'm here to tell you today that it's possible. You start small with what you have, you gain momentum, you get bigger and bigger, you build trust, and we'll go through that story today. This morning, I woke up to 62 emails in my inbox, and that's a pretty good day. Somebody earlier said, how many of you have 5,000 emails in your inbox right now? And I was impressed with how many of you raised your hand. I'm a little bit email obsessed, so I am checking those emails every single morning, and consistently my inbox is just more and more. I'm an email marketer, and I only open 2 of them a day. The rest are going to trash, honestly, which is horrible of me to say, but I think it's really telling that that's what we're all fighting against. Everybody in this room is up against that same inbox, the same 2 seconds of attention, the same scroll. We're fighting to be at the top. And in a world where digital penetration is just getting more and more loud, we really have to stand out. Personalization used to be a differentiator. Now it's table stakes. It used to be the ceiling. Now it's the floor. Sending a wrong email at the wrong time with the wrong content to the wrong person, you're not just eroding trust. You're not just potentially losing a conversion, right? You're signaling to your customers you don't know them. These are people potentially shopping with you consistently, and if you can't tell them that their data is worth your time, you're going to lose them as a customer, which we can't afford. So my name is Katie Buck, Senior Manager of Personalized Marketing at PetSmart in Phoenix, Arizona. Thrilled to be here today to share how we built a sophisticated, data-driven, personalized email program. We didn't wait for the perfect tech stack. We didn't wait for our dream budget. We didn't wait for a fully staffed team. Every step of the way, we used what we had. So who are we? Raise your hand if you have a pet at home. I love it. I want to see pictures. Come find me afterwards. We are a leading pet omni-channel retailer. So we have 1,700 plus locations across the US, Canada, Puerto Rico. We have a growing digital presence. We have things like auto ship for those things that you need on a routine. We have same-day delivery when you realize you have to give your flea and tick medicine and you don't have it. We have BOPUS for everything in between, buy online, pick it up in store. We're trying to meet our pet parents where they're at, whether that's from the first adoption all the way to senior pets, or if you have 2 dogs at home and your daughter is really interested in a guinea pig, we're here for you too. Everybody in between. And our goal and our mission is really to bring joy to pet parents at every single moment. So I want to talk about scale a little bit. It's going to be important for what we go into later. We have 80 million members in our Treats Rewards loyalty program. 80 million. 9 out of 10 purchases can be traced back to a loyalty account. 9 out of 10. So we have a lot of data. Data is not the challenge here. We have so much of it. But when we think about our email program, our promotional calendar, probably a lot of you can feel this too. We base it a lot on your purchase history, your pet profile data, the things that you tell us about. It wasn't until recently that we really got into data science models, leveraging Movable ink, which obviously we're here to talk about today. But again, the challenge was not access to data. It's using it efficiently, reliably, and in a way that we could scale it for those 80 million members. So I'll be talking about 5 phases today. Again, we're trying to find out how to use our data in a reliable way to deliver value to those pet parents to enhance their customer experience. Phase 1, very similar story to a lot of people that spoke yesterday, probably to a lot of people in this room. We started with the basics. We implemented the Movable ink pixel on our website, and we started tracking those customers very quickly. And so I know I shared a lot about how much data we have, but there was a blind spot. I can know a lot about your purchase history, online and in-store. I can know a lot about your pet profile information based on what you tell me. But our online shopping behaviors were blind to us. This was not something that we could capitalize before. We had abandoned cart and abandoned browse triggers through our ESP, but it wasn't something that we could retarget into our batch and blast campaigns. That's where Movable Link comes in. That was the very basic problem that we were trying to solve at the start of this. And so we did. We used the pixels and the behavior we started tracking to generate behavioral banners. Again, I saw this quite a bit yesterday, so hopefully you're all familiar, but essentially it's a waterfall logic looking at abandoned cart, abandoned browse, and then a fallback version. And it was a great way for us to just dip our toes into personalization. And to a customer, this isn't super, super personalized, right? This is talking about if you looked at things for your dog, if you looked at things for your cat. It wasn't getting very granular, but it was getting us a little bit closer. And what I think we don't talk enough about is that we have to sell this to the business, right? I need to start this business case. I need to prove it out a little bit. I need to show we're making money, and then I can go back to engineering and I can get more resources. Then I can get more budget to do the bigger projects, right? So this was our proof point. And I think something else that we did was our creative bandwidth was really tight at the start. So I couldn't go to my creative team and ask for a bunch of assets. We actually built these banners directly in the platform. So again, working with the tools, working with the things that we had. And that mattered more to us than perfection. We knew this wasn't the path forward forever. This wasn't the long-term goal or strategy. But again, we're just proving that this is working. So the next phase, we integrated a product and a store feed. So these are daily files getting uploaded with all of our assortment, all of our store locations, what services we have. Do they have grooming? Do they have training? Do they have veterinary care? What do they have that we can talk to customers about? So that example on your left-hand side is our second iteration of the behavioral banners. So we're not changing strategy drastically here, right? We're just personalizing it a little bit more. So instead of being like, I think you bought something for your cat, or I think you're looking at fish, I can tell you exactly which SKU you left in your cart, and I can tell you that it's 20% off online today. So before we alluded to personalization, now you can't fight that. That is exactly what's in your cart at this moment. The second thing with the store feed, we have 1,700 locations. All of those locations can feel a little bit different. And if you're someone who shops in store with us, you know that it is a very localized feel. You're gonna get to know the associates in the store. You're gonna get to know the people in the salon who take care of your dog. You're gonna really understand that that store is very different from the one down the street or the one in Canada, right? So we wanna bring 1,700 locations and create one single experience. So based on a store ID, we can tell you exactly what store we want you to go to or that you frequently shop. So we have an embedded map there. Usually it's showing the store that you most recently purchased at or you have a history at. And we can use it for things like, hey, we have a promotion on buy online, pick up in store. Look how close your store is to you. We can show the actual address. So if we have the birthday bash going on this weekend, I can drive you to that store where that event is happening. But something that's interesting that came with the store feed was weather-based targeting. And I think this is a nice to have, not a must have. But for us in Phoenix, where we're a little bit isolated when it comes to weather, it's hard for us to understand, oh, it's summer here, but people still have snow on the ground in other places. And so it helps us kind of open the door to weather-based targeting. So we can say, hey, if you're in Phoenix where it's 110 degrees outside, you need to get booties for your dog. You absolutely cannot walk your dog outside without these items. Or we can say, hey, come on in, we have air conditioning. Bring your dog into our stores. Come walk around, we're here for you. So weather-based targeting got unlocked with that store feed as well. Now this is a really exciting use case that I want to share with you. I'm not gonna lie, this was very difficult, but the outcome is so worth it. So this is something that took us quite a bit of time to figure out, but it was a problem that we had been facing for quite some time. So I mentioned our Treats Rewards loyalty program. With that, you have to activate offers to earn bonus points. And so it's really amazing, but our loyalty team does an incredible job of making sure every pet parent has something in their account at all times to activate. Now, when you're planning your promotional calendar, your batch and blast emails, it is more likely you're gonna focus on those big enterprise offers, things that are eligible to everybody. And then the ones lower in the account, whether it's on filters, filter media for your tanks and aquariums, we wanted to give love to those things. We were not doing our due diligence and planning and supporting the offers that were in accounts that were highly personalized to you as a customer. So we developed a custom endpoint This is one of those moments where I had to go to our engineering teams and say, hey, look, it works. Can you please build this endpoint for me? Please, please. And they did, and we're so, so grateful. So this email is actually entirely powered by Movable Ink except for the hero image. So all of the offers that you see below directly mimic what's in your account on your app and on our website. The content is the same. We plug directly into Contentful. So the images you're seeing, the text you're seeing is going to be the same experience no matter where you're looking at it. And then the other piece of this that is great is that activated button is dynamic based on if you've activated or not. So if you activate from our email, if you go back in, you're going to see that you did that action, which is really awesome. So again, we had the inability to produce this at high speeds. We did not have the bandwidth to create potentially 200 versions of an email. And this was the solution there. And we saw 22% on average increase in AOV. Now, sometimes things go wrong, as we all know, especially in retail. Things move fast, things break. And what's really interesting is we got into a nice rhythm. We were using those modules on a lot of our campaigns. We were using the offer roundup is what we call that last email. We were sending that just about monthly. We were getting in a really good rhythm with our Movable Ink team, and then a hiccup happened, right? One of those feeds broke. We had an internal system that sort of went down, and we realized, ooh, we did not do this in a super reliable way. If it can happen that quickly, that a feed goes down and personalization goes out the window, we're in trouble. So we had to really focus on how do we do this reliably. And I want to thank the team because in a moment of panic, they thought through a really scrappy solution. We just started sending CSV files, right? I think we're all familiar. But again, that's not the end-all be-all. So we had to think about what does this mean? What do we do? And so really grateful this is, as of yesterday, an award-winning solution. So we ended up creating a platform-defining integration with Movable Ink and Databricks, two of our really fantastic partners. And this is a great example of when you go to your vendors with a problem and people join the table and you talk about how you're going to fix it. And so we connected Databricks with Movable Ink, and we thought about how to create an infrastructure that is stable so that at no point in time personalization is at any point jeopardized. And we built this together, and sometimes when you say we built this together, it's really like Movable Ink did a lot of the work. But we really did build this together. Our engineering teams, our InfoSec teams, lots of rounds of reviews, lots of architecture meetings. And so now, all of you, if you're Databricks partners and Movable Ink partners, you can do the same thing. This is available to everybody, which is so, so exciting. We started with a pixel on our website, something very small, and now we have, again, a first-of-its-kind integration. So we know delta sharing is not new. Movable Ink plugs into many of our partners, but this is a first for Databricks. So take that back to your teams if you use both partners. Perfect. Okay, so then we moved into data science. And this comes after Databricks because we want to be able to pull our data science models from the source itself. We don't want to have to send it through a feed where it becomes outdated, it doesn't match our website, it doesn't match the app, right? By plugging directly into Databricks, it allows you to have the same experience no matter where you're looking at it. So Buy It Again model is the first one I want to share. This is very standard for a lot of retailers, but felt really groundbreaking for us. And so this is an example you can see here. We're showing you 4 products that you have recently purchased. And they're either items that we know you need to be buying again, like your dog food. We know the rhythm and the cadence you need to be making those purchases on. They could be things maybe a little bit further away, but that we think you might like again. And we've iterated on this a few times, so we now show you exactly how many times you've purchased that item. And this is really helpful for campaigns like our auto ship campaigns. When we are promoting auto ship to you, we want to contextualize that as much as possible. Auto ship can be really scary for some people. But we show you, hey, you've already purchased this 3 times. Why wouldn't you set it and forget it? Why wouldn't you put that on a routine? So that's been a really great addition for us there. The other change we've made is that we now show you exactly how many treats rewards points you'll earn with that purchase. So again, we're embedding loyalty in everything we're doing. We're personalizing this down to the SKU, down to the points you're going to earn based on the tier that you're in. And so again, it's just a great way for us to pull forward what we know about you, to prove that we see your data, we're using it in a respectful and important way. Customers don't want to give you their data for fun. They expect you to better their experience. They expect you to do something good with it. And so we're doing that here. And lastly, I don't have any creative examples of this because it is a little bit newer to us, but we have a new model that we're calling Pet Parents Like You. So this is our first step into a little bit more of predictive marketing. This is looking at you as a customer, understanding who you are, what we know about you, and doing a little bit of a look-alike, right? What do other people that look like you buy that you're not buying today? Guess what? I'm going to serve that to you. I'm going to show you that these are actually really great items for you to try out. Awesome. So it's not just about the technology. I know all 5 phases were really based in the technology that we used, but it's really about how to get that customer to the next step, how to integrate our data in a way that's reliable, fast, scalable, not difficult for our teams to leverage. We want to create really relevant experiences for our pet parents. We want them to keep coming back to continue to feel the joy that it is to be a pet parent. We want our customers to know that we know them and that we are going to use their data in good faith. So what do I want to leave you with? Start where you are. I started with 1 pixel, 1 behavioral banner. The creative was not revolutionary, but that bought trust. That bought us a business case to say, hey, this is going to work and this is going to scale, right? That gets you the resources. The resources get you better investment, and then you can do the really, really exciting things. But that's a common takeaway I've heard over the last day and a half. Start where you are. Do not wait. Do not wait for the budget or the team, because you'll probably never get there if you do. Every phase earns the next. Build, 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 and all of a sudden you'll have incredible emails that other people are looking to emulate. Real partners solve real problems. Lean on your teams. I think a lot of us want to solve our problems ourselves, but if you're already investing in the technologies, use those partners, ask them the questions. It is highly likely they have a solution, or they know somebody, or they can connect you to a team. So build upon the resources that you have. Ask them the questions, the tough questions. And scrappy is a mindset. I think sometimes scrappy has a negative connotation, but it doesn't mean you're going to be under-resourced forever. It doesn't mean you have to send CSV files forever. Scrappy means you're going to do what it takes to get to the finish line. So, what are you guys going to go out and build? Thank you.